Are you excited to do this again?
Let's do it. Reflecting back on the Fourplex.
This week, we are going to share our remodel process with you. We bought a cute little Fourplex in Southeast Boise by the university. It was a stinky little property. When it first hit the market, it was a Fourplex that was listed for like $585. It had 5 offers. One of my clients wrote on it, and all 5 offers fell through during the inspection phase, and then it sat on the market for 30 days. We had saved up a little bit of money, and I called Tommy one day and I was like, hey, you want to buy this? And he was like, yeah, babe, whatever, right?
I was like, do I have a choice? Like many of Michael's ideas, it was like, I appreciate that you ask, but we kind of always know how it's like gonna unfold when you have an idea in mind. And, I think because we're in real estate, this is sort of our trade. And whereas so many folks have a 401k and a company match, we really are responsible for investing in our own
security.
So this was that opportunity, and it definitely was stinky, and I think one of the hardest things we ever did.
The second hardest thing I've ever done, for sure. But we bought it for $585, and I think we closed in October of 2023, and then we spent 4.5 months remodeling.
And we were there every single day.
We were. The thing that's really cool about this is that at the end of this end of last year, we refinanced. We bought it for $585. We refinanced it, and it appraised at $954,000. So that's like a $400,000 increase in equity in a year. And so I'll share a little bit about what we did, but we refinanced it, pulled out the money we put into it, and now we've bought another house.
If you're not going to watch the whole episode, it did pay off, but it was a nightmare.
Okay, so the first question is, what made us say, hey, well, let's remodel a Fourplex?
Boise is one of those markets where if you buy anything and hold on to it, it's going to appreciate in value. And the way that you multiply the effect of it is to buy multiple units.
Yes.
So there was an element that appealed to, I think both of us, that it was multi-unit. So we had the flexibility to just, it wasn't like if there's a vacancy, it's one is vacant. You diversify a bit by having 4 units.
Yeah. Well, what I love about us is that when we do, and we've done 2 remodels now, is that it's not generic. We always make it special.
Like all 4 of the units, we put wallpaper on the ceiling. Shout out to Aisling's Designs, who helped us with the process. And I think that's something else that was unique in this experience, was that we relied on so many people through the process, because we thought, we'll buy it, we'll hire a contractor, and they'll do the work. And when we began the project, we realized that the contractor was able, but it was going to take twice as long.
I mean, the second question is, what was our biggest oh no moment during the remodel? I think when we realized this, because she came to us and she's like, 4 weeks, in and out, get it done. And we were like, okay, that sounds great. And 4 weeks went by and nothing had gotten done.
I think it was an oh shit moment when it was just sitting there.
I know.
And it was super expensive, both in carrying costs and all the
we're paying
additional costs.
Paying the mortgage on it. We put money into it already.
So we're like, okay, I guess we're going to... demo was like where we started, and that was like, okay, this is fun. And we thought we'd go shoot some content and do some demo and be like an episode of HGTV where we fast forward 40 minutes in the episode and it's done.
Yeah.
It's not the case. It was 4.5 months.
I do remember that being our idea of what was going to happen, is we come in and pretend to paint and take some photos. But little did we know we would be up till midnight some nights laying tile. How do you think it impacted our relationship?
It was a huge test of patience, because we'd worked together all day. I think one day it was Christmas or something, or Thanksgiving, and everyone else is cozied up on the couch watching football or something.
Yeah.
And we were well, I guess we have to go lay floor tiles. And I was so miserable.
It was really intense.
Well, and we also just redid everything. And there wasn't a single element that we didn't do.
Except for the plumbing, which is coming to bite us in the ass now.
Here's the thing. It wasn't just we did 1 unit. We would do 1 unit and be cool, we have 3 more to do. So we had 2, 3, 4 times everything. We just didn't have a choice, because we were like, here's a budget, and then very quickly, what budget?
Our budget was $60,000 when we started, and by the end, it ended up at $135,000.
That's what they say, always double it.
I think it paid off. It's paid off. All of those things have made it. That thing has made us so much money to this date. Like, it has paid off so many bills for us.
The other end of it, it was like, okay, I'm glad we did that. What's one thing you wish we knew before starting?
One thing that I wish we knew before we started was how to budget for a remodel and how to hire a contractor, because both of those things were huge pain points for us.
I think if we knew what we were getting into, we wouldn't have done it.
Or would you not do it again?
Hell no.
Would it
not in that same way. I would budget for having professionals to go do that, because it very much became this point where we're still running a real estate business, which is commission based, and so we would have to find this balance of like, what's the opportunity cost of missing this networking event or like generating this potential relationship for our business to go lay tile.
The bills kept coming in, and we were doing a job that wasn't paying us anything at the moment, and so there was just like compounding stress. But
every credit card was maxed. We were like, it was intense. So I don't know that if I knew what we were getting ourselves into, that it would have been.
You wouldn't have done.
I was, when we first started, I was like, this is how much I have. Like, I was very concerned, but I'm glad.
How did we split up the responsibilities, and did that actually work? What were some of your projects?
Well, there's
the pavers.
I did the pavers. I did like a good amount of demo. We built a fence. Those like wood detail wall thing, which was a nightmare. So
the walls weren't straight. Like, we wanted to like have an accent wall, and it's really cute now. And when we went to go put the wood slats on the wall, like only one spot like stuck, kind of like a.
Because the wall was like wavy. I mean, this was like a 1950s cinder block construction.
Oh my God! Remember that 60-year-old water heater we found? It looked like a missile from like World War II. If it's still working.
Well, and there was like oil in the ground, so it was a journey.
Yeah.
But I think the units weren't very big, and we were getting on each other's nerves. So it was like we had to really just be in different units at sometimes. Like there was also so much to do where like if you got started on a project, it took so long to get started on something.
Oh, yeah.
So once you were started, you just had to keep going.
Yes.
Like getting there, putting on dirty ass boots and like clothes that smelled like ass that sat in this unit we would go in and change into. And then we'd be like, okay, we're gonna start this project. And it would just take so long to get going that like you couldn't just stop by.
No.
I mean, you had to go and like commit to being there for a day.
It took about 2 hours to like get momentum on anything.
Yeah.
And then once you had it, some of my projects were tiling, the flooring. I did a lot of that, and like the tiling I actually would still do to this day. It's a lot of fun, but once you get like started on tiling, you kind of can't stop. Like, you gotta get it all done. And these showers were tiny, so there was a point where there was like 3 of us slinging mortar and putting up
in like this small of a space.
Yeah, with little spacers everywhere, and then you had to pull the spacers out. It was a whole thing. What was the most unexpectedly fun part of the process?
It was cool to see it like come together once we finished everything. I mean, initially when we started, it was like overwhelming. I mean, you started one project, you realized there was another project, so it was really hard to like stay focused. But once it was done, and that big ass ugly trailer full of garbage was like pulled away, and we started to like see it come together and cleaned out. I mean, it was so dirty constantly.
Oh my God. Yeah.
That once it started to get cleaned, which I swear we cleaned it like 15 times. Once it started to get clean, that was gratifying because it was like really came together. So I would say the fun part was definitely seeing everyone's reaction at the end, because it was pretty dramatic, the transformation.
Yeah, we did a open house for it at the end, and like it was really one of the most rewarding moments, having it all come together, sticking through the whole thing. But I also do remember that there was a tree root that we had to get out because the sidewalk was wonky, and I kind of remember having fun tackling that. It was just like one of those moments where you're ready to get the rage out and just like
an axe to it.
Just started axing the crap out of this tree root. I felt that was kind of cathartic.
I do appreciate having done everything we did there. I'm like, I feel so bro-y and masculine. Like, yeah, bro, I tiled that bathroom, and like built a fence and did pavers, and I'm like, that's cool for us. Like, we did that, you know.
Agreed.
Like,
There's something like rewarding about that.
and I don't have to do it again. But I can appreciate now paying someone to do it. Like, okay, I did that. Now I have a way better understanding of like, okay, that's what that costs.
Why do you think we didn't stay on budget?
I mean, in general, we don't really have or stay on budgets.
I wanted nice flooring. I wanted tile. You wanted undermount lighting in the kitchen in these like little dinky apartments.
Paid off.
Yes. And then the appliances, which were super retro and super cute and just like
if we're going to do it,
timeless.
we're just going to do it.
Do it right. Yes, do it right. We did everything right. The electrical, we redid the entire electrical, new roofs. They already had new windows, but we went and put in new furnaces and mini splits in all of the units. Like, I'm just really glad that we did it right the first time, even though it cost us more and the budget kind of exploded. I'm just glad because the only thing we didn't do was the plumbing. And now it's like, now we're gonna have to tear up a bunch of stuff we did because the plumbing's a mess.
I mean, it was just tough because at a certain point we didn't have any more money. So it was really a gamble. What advice would we give to couples thinking about doing a remodel together? Probably establish expectations around date nights or something where you don't do anything with the project.
Mm-hmm.
I think you have to be transparent about what your limits would be. I was hesitant in the beginning. I was like, I don't know if I can do that, you know, so I tried to be like upfront that this would really push me because I'm not as much of like, I don't have this, I need like to have downtime, and you would operate a little bit more like,
I'll power through the breakthrough or the breakdown. I will power through the breakdown. I just want it done.
oh my God. And towards the end, it was just like, I think you have to really understand your why.
Yes.
And why you're doing it and what's on the other end for you in that, because it wasn't like a home remodel. I think that would have been tough to live in it, and a lot of people do that. This week you could at least leave and go back to like shower and just be away from it. So I think you gotta know your why. And ours was definitely to just really sort of overcome that investing chasm where you go from like 1 or 2 units to like multiple units, because that's when it's really profitable. I think we just had the one up until that point.
Yep, we had one townhouse. But I think for me, it was just the opportunity. The opportunity was really apparent to me. I mean, like I said, we got it to appraise for $400,000 more than we bought for. We were able to pull out $200,000, which was pretty much everything we put into it. We now use that money to buy a little house in front of ours. And it still makes like $900 to $1,000 every month in profit for us, you know?
Yeah, I think that's a good segue into what part of it we're most proud of. I think as real estate professionals, it had to have been successful being in real estate for us to be able to speak to what it is that you can do with real estate. Like, it would have been challenging to be real estate folks and be like, yeah, this is great, and then it not go financially as planned.
Wait, what are you most proud of?
How we doubled the value. I think it was as much of a success story as it could be on paper when you look at a financial investment in real estate. But I was saying that if it didn't go that way, it would have been kind of awkward. 'Cause it's like, we're in real estate, this is great, you should do this. It didn't work for us, but it really did. Like, we were able to take everything and kind of start back to square one. And that is the power of how real estate can work for you. Because now it's just doing its thing. So I would say that's what I'm most proud of.
I am most proud of we did an open house, and then one of the neighbors came over, and they were so grateful because it was such a dumpy little complex. And by the time we were done, it literally elevated the entire street. It has so much curb appeal now. It's charming. It's one of a kind. There's really not anything else like it on the market. And I think I'm just really proud of the overall design of everything that we did, because it's really cute.
Yeah, it is. For how small it is, it's like really quirky, and
yeah,
it was cute to see the feedback from people because it was really dumpy before. And it's also great that it's kind of in an area that we love, you know?
Yeah.
It feels like we get to put our fingerprints on the things in the neighborhoods we love.
This little one did not enjoy it.
Oh God, Oliver did not like it.
He was not having fun.
Did you like the Fourplex or no?
To answer the question of whether we would do it again or not, my answer is yes. I would absolutely do it again with a bigger budget to hire people to do a lot of the work. I will, however, love to be a part of the design process, and I may be talked into doing some time. I just love that part.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the fun parts are what I would be down for, which was the design and seeing the vision for it. But I don't want to do the pavers. I don't want to demo a nasty bathroom. But the reality is you can't just get to that point. This was that hill we had to overcome in the real estate investing journey to be able to have the luxury of saying, oh, we're going to hire people because we have the appreciating asset. We've refinance. You kind of don't have a choice but to put some sweat equity in for it to really work.
Yeah, I'm glad we did that. It was trial by fire. So if anybody out there wants to look and see what other opportunities might exist in the market now, we certainly know how to find them. And then if you also need some relationship advice during the process, we're happy to help.